is Mission Control Houston. We're continuing to receive live television from Discovery. This is television from the flight deck of the spacecraft, showing the blue team at work with Mission Specialist Don McMonagle in the front seat and Greg Harbaugh working in the aft flight deck. Discovery is currently maneuvering to a gravity gradient attitude. That's an attitude designed to hold the spacecraft stable without the use of the reaction control system, where Discovery's orientation will be stabilized by the Earth's gravity, and it should stay relatively stable. That attitude is designed to conserve propellant and will be used periodically throughout this flight.
Discovery Houston, we'd like to take the payload bay cameras. We've got some good view of the Aleutian Islands we'd like to look at.
Okay, Marcia, go ahead.
Thanks a lot.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're now receiving live television from Discovery. This is a picture from the low-light level TV camera that's mounted on the Cirrus instrument, on the cryogenic infrared radiance instrument for shuttle. It's looking now for aurora over the South Pole. Discovery is currently right over the tip of South America, just over Tierra del Fuego, and this camera is looking south toward Antarctica.
And Discovery, we have the data. You can go item 2.
That's complete.
Thanks.
This television picture is the same picture seen by the crew on board as they aim the Cirrus instrument at its observation targets.
Yes, sir, Guy. How is the troubleshooting procedure going? We're afraid you might be stuck in an infinite loop around steps 12 and 13.
Well, I'm stuck in a loop right now at about 7 or 8. When I do take the spare 3 switch to the on position, the light flickers on momentarily and then goes out. But I have not been able to get the light to stay on, and I still got maybe a couple more tries.
Roger that, Guy.
Mission Specialist Greg Harbaugh on the left and Lacey Veach in the center. And sleep stations, which are located on the mid-deck of Discovery.
Yeah, that's the brig, Brian. If these guys get out of hand, that's where we put them.
I bet Don spends a lot of time in there.
Right.
throughout the mission, while other payload activities are going on, the crew does support the Earth observation project with many different targets. And as the one seen on NASA Select, it's...
Discovery Houston, Orbit 1's ready to hand over to Orbit 2, and Ron and Marcia's here. Marcia and KT flip-flopped, so they'll be talking to you, and we'll be back tomorrow to do those milkshakes.
Okay, Brian, appreciate the good work, and we'll be ready for tomorrow.
See you then.
Have a good day.
So these photographs are teleprinted up or tagged up to the crew so that they have a good opportunity to see what they might be looking for to take some photographs in support of the Earth observation project. This particular target upcoming in about 1 minute is of the Omo River Delta area, Lake Rudolph in particular, in northwest Kenya in East Africa. The Delta area, the Omo River Delta area, has grown out into the lake at a rapid rate over the past 25 years, although it's not certain at this time as to whether the growth of this delta is due to fluctuations in the lake level or whether it's due to increased sediment carried by the river due to deforestation activity, or possibly due to a combination of events. Hopefully, photographing this area would give some further insight into the characterization of why this river delta has grown so much over the last 25 years.
And Discovery Houston will take the flight deck camera.
Okay, go ahead.
And we see you in the flight deck. Hi, guys.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're currently receiving downlink from the Space Shuttle Discovery as the Red Team takes its afternoon meal. This is Mission Control Houston, as is demonstrated by the crew on board Discovery. Space Shuttle astronauts typically carry a number of different cameras to document both life on board the orbiter and the Earth observation activities as they pass overhead.
Anybody down there know how to use one of these?
I figured you were doing that for my benefit.
Just in case you thought we were just sitting around gawking out the window with all the free time we had on our hands.
I don't see you using any of those things.
Marcia, if you got a couple of minutes, we'll give you a quick rundown on some of the things we think we've been able to get with the Earth Ops cameras.
Okay, guys will be glad to hear it. Go ahead.
Okay. Broly's been working real well. We think maybe we had one roll of film that didn't feed properly. We'll save that one and we'll ask Don to take a look at that when we get back. But we've been shooting along with this. But it's proved to be real useful because it's basically point and shoot with its automatic features. Earlier today, we used both of the Hasselblads, one with color visible and the color IR, for a pass down the western coast of India, and we think we got a pretty good continuous strip in color visible and color IR all the way down the west coast of India. Of course, as you know, the color IR is particularly, or color infrared is particularly useful for looking at the land use patterns and cultural development, and also brings out topographical features, brings out some unique aspects of topographical features too. We've been, I think we've used about a third of the Linhof film, the bazooka here, and we got some good shots with this today of the typhoon that's in the Bay of Bengal right now. Did get some good shots of Lake Baikal, I think relatively cloud-free too. And we had a good pass over the Caspian earlier today also.
Today, Lacey was doing a lot of the data taking, so the rest of us were taking pictures. We had one nice pass over Madagascar where we hopefully got some good shots of the land use there. We used both the Linhof and the color IR again. And Blaine was taking some pictures too. Why don't you tell them what you were looking at, Blaine?
Yeah, we got some good pictures of Madagascar, the coastal features, the delta there. Also some irrigation and circular irrigation type features over Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, and some pretty good shots, we think, of the wildfires going on in that part of the world right now. Yeah, also we think we may have got some really good shots of the aurora. They were the most spectacular thing I've ever seen, and if they come out, they'll really be super photographs. And the F3, both the F3 and the F4 with 1600 ASA were acting like they were able to respond to that kind of light, so we may have gotten some really good exposures, and if so, it should be really dynamite to see.
Mostly we've got the F3 set up with the 1600 for low light sort of things because we're doing a lot of events during this flight. Later on we'll be releasing various kinds of gases as part of the set of IPSS experiments. So the F3 we've left mostly loaded with 1600. We're using the F4 with most of the time we're using 64 speed, and we're going to use that for interior shots, taking pictures of the flight deck and the mid deck.
Do some photography photography for me and try and get some time exposures of our tourists.
Marshal, we're just wondering if you can tell us what else we've got on board here that we don't know about that we should be taking pictures with.
Well, haven't seen the camcorder.
Well, yeah, we did talk about the video stuff. We've been taking lots of video with camera B and camera C of the Aurora. Of course, we recorded probably 20 or 30 tapes worth of AFP 675 video with the payload cameras. The camcorder at the moment is set up downstairs for some spectacular scenes to follow over the next few days. So you'll just have to wait with anticipation.
Breathless anticipation, I assure you. Did you try shooting the Aurora with the camcorder by any chance?
Yeah, we did try it. We really just couldn't pick anything up.
Okay, that's what I thought. In the payload skies, we'd like to know if you've taken any clouds photography.
Just a little bit of cloud photography so far.
Okay, well, thanks for the update. That's real good. I appreciate it.
We're going to be doing a lot more clouds another day or so.
Okay, well, I'm real proud of you guys.
Discovery is currently in the process of just starting to pass over the Aleutian Islands as it rounds up the ascending node of orbit 39. In about 11 minutes from now, Discovery will be passing over the Yellowstone National Park area in Wyoming. This region of the United States is relatively unphotographed. Of particular interest to scientists studying this area is the recovery of the forests following the fires in 1989. Though those fires were not very large in terms of historic fires in the United States, or the far larger Canadian forest fires of 1989, or even in comparison to the mega fires that have been documented in the global tropics in the past decade, this Yellowstone fire did receive quite a bit of attention in this country at that time. This is Mission Control Houston. We can now see the arm along the port side of the payload bay being brought up for the activities over the next few minutes. This is Mission Control Houston. This particular camera view is courtesy of the wrist camera on the end of the remote manipulator system arm.
Discovery Houston, thanks for the picture of the AIS. We believe it's co-aligned, and you have a go to restow the arm.
Roger, Marcia, and we're approaching Houston. If you can take one of the payload bay cameras and look down, you might be able to see yourself.
Okay, we'll do it.
Right over it right now.
Now receiving live television from the flight deck of Discovery. This view showing Mission Specialist Guy Bluford, who has been working with the Air Force Payload 675 cargo during the past 2 days, and also the other members of the Blue Team who are now on shift on board Discovery. The cryogenic infrared radiance instrument for shuttle has continued to work well throughout the last days, and payload controllers have characterized the science that they've gathered as outstanding, also saying that they've gained approximately 150% of their pre-mission planned data on Aurora that they'd hoped to attain, and that it's gone above and beyond their expectations. They also say the quality of data that's been received from Cirrus has been better than expected, and also the quality of the Aurora that it's been able to observe has been outstanding due to an intense geomagnetic storm that has been ongoing during the past 2 days.
Discovery for GNC.
Go ahead, Don.
KT, we torqued at 2 days 11:23:42 and looks good to us. Do you have the numbers?
We've got the data, thanks.
By the way, about half an hour ago we made pass over the west coast of the USA, and we can certainly tell you it's a beautiful day in California.
Hope you're getting pictures.
Not to worry.
Discovery Houston, we're about 2 minutes to LOS. We'll see you on the west at 11+49.
Okay, KT, see you there.
This is Mission Control Houston. We've lost communications with Discovery as it passes out of range of the Eastern Tracking Satellite. On board, the Blue crew is settled in for their 4th day of work. So far, they've been taking information with the cryogenic infrared radiance instrument for shuttle, the Cirrus 1A sensor. Those data takes will continue in approximately about 3 hours. They will power up the mechanical arm. Then they'll move that arm into position for another data take with the Cirrus, which will concentrate on the end of the arm, on the arm's end effector as it encounters atomic oxygen in the orbital environment. The desire is to study a process known as shuttle glow, which is a glow created when atomic oxygen encounters the spacecraft in orbit. Following that, and toward the end of the crew's shift today, they'll begin pre-deploy operations for the infrared background signature survey. And those will continue until finally at the next handover on board Discovery, when the Blue crew hands us over to the Red team and both are awake, they'll release the infrared background signature survey and begin their separation burns and rendezvous tactics away from the shuttle Pallet satellite. We expect to regain communications with Discovery in a little over 14 minutes. This loss of communications is longer than most due to the high inclination of Discovery's orbit, although a very small part of the world in a measurement from east to west is blocked from communications with either of the tracking satellites. If you travel north to south in that portion, it can be very long, and Discovery is currently on a ground track that takes it on a northerly course through the zone of exclusion. On this graphic shown on NASA Select, the zone of exclusion can be seen with the 2 lines on both to the east and to the west of Discovery.